Now we are going to shift to an innovation spotlight, a joint presentation from Design Anthology and Orica Digital Solutions, exploring how design thinking and digital capability can come together to unlock new value. So please welcome Josh Jeffress, co-founder and managing director of Design Anthology, and Callum Dawson, who is a business analyst at Orica Digital Solutions. Welcome, gentlemen.
All right, g'day everyone. It's terrific to be here today. I'm from Design Anthology, and we've been on a journey for 10 years, and we've actually had an amazing opportunity to partner with Orica on the development of and manufacture of the FragTrack hardware. So back in 2017, Orica came to us, and they had this amazing technology. The data worked, the math stacked up, and they knew that the market actually wanted it. So what they were actually missing, though, was the confidence to actually deploy the hardware globally without creating some major headaches around support and sustainment. As we all know in mining, if it doesn't stack up or it puts roadblocks in the way, it doesn't last long. So this project was actually all about designing and building hardware that can be manufactured and assembled efficiently, deployed globally with a lot of confidence, and operate reliably in harsh environments for years and years with minimal maintenance. Most importantly, it had to add a lot of value to the customer around optimising that manufacturing process. It also had to remove a lot of friction around installation and maintenance, and we're proud to say that it's been deployed globally from the Arctic Circle all the way through to the Pilbara. So what does it actually do? FragTrack captures the outcome, the fragmentation result after the blast, and feeds that back into Orica's digital platform, Blast IQ. So what does it mean for everyone? It means that you're not just able to predict performance, but you're actually able to measure and verify it. So when fragmentation is dialed in, crushers run cleaner, energy use drops, wear reduces, and also downtime improves. That's measurable operational performance. One of the first things we did is, on the Gen 3, the first step of any product development is we actually looked at it and critically analysed it and pulled it apart and see if we could put it back together better, and we did that in conjunction with Orica. One question kept on coming up through that process. Why were the most sensitive and highest cost components sitting in the blast zone? As a group, we decided that's a really bad idea, and we've decided to split capture from the camera. The camera stayed in the field, and the capture of the processing side got put into a controlled environment, which improved reliability immediately. Servicing became easier, and the life cycle risk reduced significantly. That decision also had a huge knock-on effect. It unlocked modularity. And so by separating the processor and the camera, we actually ended up with a processing unit that could be reconfigured and redeployed for other applications. And that reduced duplication, lowered development costs and risks, and simplified manufacturing. We also applied the same kind of concept to weight. The original kind of test rig was about 60 kilograms. We decided to take that down to 6. That made installation a lot faster and a lot safer, and it lowered the complexity around freight and handling. And it also created some new opportunities for Orica that they didn't anticipate. So this brings us to the latest generation in the FragTrack system. So the F80, which is Gen 4, basically it builds on everything we've learnt to date. It builds on the field feedback, on the customer insights, and the ongoing refinement through the partnership with Orica. And it wraps it up into one nice, very nice looking product. It looks nice, but it's much simpler to manufacture. It's more ruggedized than the previous version. It's lower maintenance. It actually doesn't have any wear parts, this product. And it now operates from -40 to +60 degrees. Also, it runs new tech. So that new tech increases the performance of the product while reducing complexity in the blast zone. And one of the kickers with this is it stacks a whole stack of lenses in there and lots of lens configurations, which means that the product can actually do more. So it can look at, it can be working on shovels, to excavators, to crushers and conveyors, and even underground. So that broader deployment means more data. More data strengthens the models and essentially gets you guys to the right blast outcomes the first time. I'll hand over to Cal to talk about Orica's perspective on the journey and collaboration.
Thank you, Josh, and good morning, everyone. Just a quick word from me and on behalf of Orica Digital Solutions to say what an absolute pleasure it's been working with Josh, Nat, Toby, Amy, the Design Anthology team in developing this next generation of hardware. It was a very happy and full circle moment to return to Design Anthology after over 5 years of success with our Gen 3 in the field. We were motivated to return to their team based on not just the quality of their end product, but also in the quality of the collaborative experience we have when we design with Josh and the team. So what we have in Generation 4, and you'll see in some of the pics and some of the testing videos behind me now, is something that is quite a rich blend of both engineering rigor and aesthetic design flair. And I think in that way, it's been a real coming together of the relative strengths of our two teams. So thank you, Josh. In many ways, this is just the beginning of Gen 4. We're very excited to push this out to final field trials and to commercialization later in the year.
Thanks, Gal. That's fantastic. Just to close, it's been a 10-year journey, and I just sort of thought to myself, I wanted to sort of reflect and see what were the key themes that made this partnership and product very successful. They may seem very simple, but they're very important nonetheless. So essentially, we had the right people in the room from the very, very beginning. These people had high technical level of discipline. They communicated early and frequently. Most importantly, the team was prepared to challenge the status quo, and no one was precious about their ideas, so we moved forward quickly. And most importantly, I suppose, is we all stayed laser focused on the outcome. But underneath that, there was actually another layer, and that was around clarity. We had access to the right stakeholders at the right time, and that was hugely valuable for us because it essentially gave us a really deep level of understanding and also a clear definition of what success looked like for all the different parties. Ultimately, we brought our A game. So Orica brought deep domain expertise and technical know-how, access to the customer, and ability to deploy and support globally, which is invaluable, and I can't put a price on what that's worth. We brought structured hardware development, serious attention to detail, we sometimes call it anally retentive, and an embedded quality system that we use every day. And most importantly, we bring 10 years of experience building technology that doesn't only deploy, but also thrives in some of the harshest environments in the world. So in summary, bringing all this together and collaboration done well, you reduce risk early, you unlock opportunities that others don't see, you remove friction across the entire product lifecycle, that can't be undervalued and understated, and you deliver products like this that perform in the field for years and years. So hopefully you guys got something out of that, and Cal and I will be around for the rest of the day if you've got any questions.